What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for watching. I recently got my hands on like almost all of the Stila Magnificent Metals eyeshadows. Oh my gosh, they are so gorgeous. I have been dying to figure out a way to work them into my Sandstone looks. So I'm so happy with the way that this look turned out. If you guys want to see how I got this, then just keep on watching. Starting off with my lips today, I don't usually show you guys this, but I always apply our lip volumizer before I start any makeup look. Then I'm going in with Sandstone Pearl all over my lid, just like usual, to cancel out any veins or redness. And lately I've been liking to work it in with my finger. I know I always say I like clean hands and I prefer to use a brush instead, but I just feel like the warm touch of your finger helps work it into your eyelid a little bit better. Next, I'm going in with Mulberry shadowsense on a fluffy Sigma brush, and I'm just running that all through my crease. Alright, so this next part isn't totally necessary, but I do like the way it makes the transition a little bit more seamless and gives some more depth to the look. So I'm taking Mocha Java shadowsense on a smaller fluffy brush. This one is a Sigma E25, I believe, and I'm running that lower in my crease a little more precisely, and then I am taking it all over my lid as well. Next up is the star of the show. This is the Stila Magnificent Metals eyeshadow in the shade Smoldering Satin, and oh my goodness, this is my color. I am obsessed. It is so sparkly, so glittery, so gorgeous, and I actually really do like the way that it worked with all of my Sandstone products. It seemed to work just fine with them. So I am applying it directly to my lid. It is a wetter formula, so you want to keep your eyelid mostly closed and flat until it totally dries before opening it. That way you don't get any weird wrinkles or creases in your lid. And you can see from watching me apply it that I am just applying it all over the lid and taking it all the way up to the crease, but I'm not letting it go past the crease at all. This way you can just kind of barely see it poke through your lashes when your eyes are open, but then when you close your eyes you can see the bam glitter. Then I'm taking Onyx shadowsense on a small angled brush. This one is a Morphe brush, and I'm just pressing that into my lash line. This is actually like one of the very few times that you'll see me without a winged liner, and I just did not feel like it was necessary for this look. As you can see, I'm just pressing this into my lash line to create some depth and make it a little bit thicker and darker and blacker, but I'm not doing any type of precise liner at all. Moving on to the face, I am priming my skin with our Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer. I've been using this every single night as a treatment before I go in with my skincare, and I've noticed a huge difference in my pores. And then I also like to apply it before I do a full face of foundation to just help it apply a little bit smoother and last a little bit longer. Then I'm showing you guys my favorite trick. I like to use our matte gloss on the more problem areas with my pores. So you can see I'm taking it on my middle finger and I'm just gonna press it into my pores where I have bigger pores. It's gonna fill those in and help create like a smoother finish to my foundation. After priming, I'm going in with our makesense foundation in the shade Creme Beige. I'm applying that directly to a Morphe M439 brush. It's a bigger, denser foundation brush than what I normally like to use, and this will give me a little bit more full coverage. I'm concentrating this mostly in the center of my face because I am going to bronze the edges of my face, so I don't want too many layers. But I just apply that all over, and then I am taking Candlelight shadowsense and applying it just to my dark circles to help cancel out any blue or purple circles underneath my eyes. And I'm just blending that out with a Real Techniques fluffy brush. Next up, I am taking our makesense foundation in the shade Truffle. This is the very darkest shade that we have, and I was a little nervous to use it as a bronzer. Normally I just use it as contour, but I went with it and I actually really like the way that it turned out. So I just apply a couple dots to my cheekbones, and I'm starting off by blending it out with a Real Techniques buffing brush, but as you can see, it didn't blend as well as I would have liked it to, and so I do go in with a Real Techniques contour brush right here, and it's a little bit denser and more precise, and so it blends out just a little bit better. So I am finishing off the rest of my face with the contour brush. Then we're going in with our Make Sense foundation in the shade Porcelain. This is the lightest warm shade that we have, and I like it because it has that yellow undertone, so it helps to brighten underneath your eyes. So I'm taking it with a Senegence flat top angled brush and just blending that all out. You can see I applied it underneath my eyes, center of my forehead, down my nose, my chin, and I did apply it down on my jawline underneath my contour to help sculpt that out just a little bit more. So I didn't feel like my under eyes were bright enough with just the Porcelain foundation, so I decided to take our white concealer and just dab it underneath my eyes and blend that out with the same Senegence brush to help brighten it up just a little bit more. Next, we are going to do some baking. So baking is where you press in a lot of powder onto anywhere that you highlighted on your face, and it's going to help set it and make it really crease proof, budge proof, basically everything proof. So I pack on the powder using a little blending sponge, and I always do this underneath my eyes, but for this look I decided to sculpt out my cheekbones with it as well. I take the extra powder on a fluffy brush and dust that all over my face to just set the rest of my face. After letting that under eye and contour bake for a minute, I am going to dust that away, and you can see it just gives such a nice flawless finish, and it totally cleans up my contour and makes it crisp. Then we're going in with Mulberry Shadowsense for blush. I'm just putting a couple dots on my cheeks and blending that out with a Real Techniques stippling brush. For highlight, I'm using our Make Sense foundation in the shade Pearlizer. It is the most gorgeous liquid highlight, and I'm putting that on a Real Techniques Duo fiber brush and applying that to all of the high points of my face. So I hit my cheekbones, my nose, my cupid's bow, and my brows. Then I'm taking Mocha Java on a little tiny fluffy brush. This one is by Morphe, and I'm running that all along my lower lash line. Since my lids are so sparkly and glittery, I wanted my inner corner highlight to be matte. So I am taking Pink Frost Shadow Scent and applying that with that same little tiny fluffy brush just to my inner corners and using my finger to kind of blend out the edges. Then I applied Vixen lashes in the style Mia, and I just love how flirty and girly these lashes are. For lips, I'm using lipsense in the shade Pink Champagne and then shadowsense in the shade Mulberry. So keeping that mulberry theme on my eyes, my cheeks, and my lips. So I am applying Pink Champagne first all over my lips as a base, and then I'm going to go in with Mulberry shadowsense all over, and this applies a little bit differently, so it takes some getting used to, but you want to make sure that you keep it really thin. Then you're going to give it plenty of drying time. I seriously apply it and then I'll do my hair, I'll get dressed, do whatever you need to do. I usually give it about 5 minutes before I apply the top layer. So then I'm going to go in with Pink Champagne again to top it all off, and we're going to finish the look off with some glossy gloss. And there you go, that is the finished look. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more.